Hi guys, welcome to Everyday Tales with NKTS. I am NKTS.
I'm Betty.
This is a podcast where we unpack everyday stories shaping our lives, love, and how we understand the world.
Yeah, from relationships to culture to the occasional chaos, especially what's happening around us.
Speaking of chaos, Kenya has been giving us content all week.
Allah, have you had this viral clip?
It's on.
Hatuwezi bila pawa.
Ni ukweli, inafaa tuambie watu wa Kenya power iko mazejo. Because what is this?
I don't think this power is that.
But the power is power though.
I hear you.
Uh-huh.
And the funny thing about Kenyan internet culture is how quickly a small thing just turns out into a meme. Who ever thought?
Like wildfire. Within 2 hours, within the first hour.
Oburu Odinga would be used as a meme in Kenya.
Youth leader. Within the first hours, bana memes, TikTok videos.
Weka mawe. Oh, it's crazy how things just quickly catch the heat and keep trending. Like now, I think we have Safari Rally going on in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the trend or the hype around it is as much as it's been the previous years. I don't know, Ama, because I wasn't keen on looking it up before it started happening. I've not felt it. And they moved their stage this year from the traditional Nairobi stage unveiling to Naivasha. So I don't know, maybe probably that affected.
So going down in Naivasha.
Yes. And the terrain?
The terrain, I think this is where people have come to test out their cars. Niliona mtu juzi alipost, watu wa Audi, Mercedes, BMW, this is not your forte, park those cars. This is where Toyota comes to shine.
And I saw one video where a Jimny was pulling a Prado out of the
Yeah, I saw that video. But hey, you see that Jimny, mother, it packs power. It's like a small monster. That one, me if I was a chick, that would be my car. Forget
but it's
the
a
debut.
two-door.
There's a 4-door Jimny.
I have seen most of the Jimnys I've seen. I think that's a 2018 model.
Yeah, the 4-door Jimny. If you look closely, it looks like that pink Mercedes.
But have you seen its price?
I know.
It almost looks like a low-budget G-Wagon.
That's what I was going to say. If you look at it nicely, it looks like that pink one. You know the pink G-Wagon?
Yes. And do you think it's worth the money, given that the prices it's retailing for?
I think shida yetu wa Kenya ni tunanunuanga vitu tumeona sio kibaya. So that in turn inatutuma kwa taxes, ina raise tax bracket ya particular vehicles. So tunabaki tuko messed. Speaking of Naivasha, umesikia ile inasema bro amejituma ako kazini anaisaka lakini anajua wife yake anafanya nini Naivasha. Oi.
Why? Ni mbaya. But that has always been typical of Naivasha. I think
exactly.
You know we talk about Safari Rally and the ills happening in Safari Rally, like this just started the other day. I think a couple of months ago I was talking to a professor who I think in the early 60s and 70 was like her prime and like their party days. They say Naivasha has always had a bad name. There's actually a book written about
Sin City, yeah?
Yes.
But what do you expect?
The colonialists used to choose it as a weekend getaway.
What do you expect? All like the conservancies in Naivasha, all like where's Batuk by the way? The British Army training.
That's in Nanyuki.
Oh, but yes. You see, it's still.
So that whole area.
Area. Mali wazungu wako vitu mbaya
because that's. And interestingly, they used to have very crazy. Back in the day, I'm going to try and find the name of that book.
Find it. I need to read that book.
They wrote about their escapades. I think even people in the UK would schedule to travel for one of their holidays.
Hold up, let me ask. Naivasha tuko short kiangalia Epstein files vizuri.
It could be featured in there. You never know.
So,
you never know.
Well, when Kenya is giving us memes, huko nje kunaendaje?
It looks like we're in really interesting times. Relationships are literally being defined everywhere with everything that's currently ongoing. As the war between the US and Iran is going on, people are slowly also picking sides, or should I say allies, or they are sticking together. You know, back in the day, like a few years ago, relations were directed or aligned to certain beliefs or certain modus operandi. So if a country operated in a certain way and you both agreed, you'd come and form an alliance.
So like how they came up with the European Union.
Yes,
African
the various
like
international bodies that bring together like-minded countries to be working alongside like a legal framework or stuff like that. But things are really changing now.
According to this war, I think the new alignment of BRICS.
Really?
Yeah, I think things are going to change. People are the way people used to align to the United States, kitambo, they're falling off.
That's falling off.
Yeah,
and
also,
that's changing because also now people are aligning with, do you fulfill the needs I want met?
Yeah.
And it's a shared beneficial relation.
Exactly, because I think the relationship between US and their countries is more of like colonialism reignited because they want to have a say in what you do. They want to they want to establish your oil prices. They want to establish what you do.
But you know, US has nothing has changed much. The US has always been
a bully,
chest thumping and saying we are the superpower of the world.
But you see how they're being hammered right now.
But that's narrative. So we could say Trump just came here to expose that narrative was a lie.
But also he came to expose its stupidity because in how many years is the only president that has taken US to war?
In fact, it's being said in certain circles that there are people who wanted it to get to where it is now, and they knew the only culprit capable of being pushed to that corner would be Trump. So then it's like they set him up. So
he fell for it.
He fell for it, yes. And yes. And he's sort of gotten to a point, I think he's debating whether, I did too many moves too many times because, at the beginning of at the inception of his presidency, he changed quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
Not just on the aid front, but a lot of tax laws, a lot of business operation demand.
What pissed me off the most was his stance on foreigners in his country. You see, even those citizen that was shot by ICE.
Wow.
Imagine during a protest. Imagine you're sending out these people. These are murderers in uniform. You're sending them out to fish out people who don't look American enough.
Yeah, so unfortunately that has come to sort of haunt him. I don't want to say those words.
Okay,
I think it's come back to haunt him.
Those are my words.
Because I think I've seen something around him asking for help from other countries.
Yep.
But then countries are also a bit reluctant on what kind of help they are giving or what their action would be showing the rest of the world. Everybody is now trying to be important and also regroup themselves. If I align here, what are the long-term benefits of aligning, showing solidarity with country A and B and not aligning with country C or D? What are the long-term repercussions of some of these?
Whatever the case, if whoever you align with, Kim Jong-un ako pale juu anapiga press-ups. He's waiting for you to F around and find out.
It's not business as usual because I know a couple of countries have been seriously affected by travel. So if somewhere along the way they would like to continue experiencing the benefits from the traveling, they would definitely align with a country that has similar challenges and figure out how do we go about it in terms of still continuing tourism despite the chaotic scene.
But we guys, we were not ready for Iran.
Clearly, that has.
Guys are not even they are not issuing threats. Like, see, they bombed some ships in the Strait of Strait of what?
Strait of Hormuz.
Hormuz.
Yes.
They bombed some ships.
So that there's a restriction
yes,
of movement
don't pass
currently
here.
on that front. But now the interesting thing is that everyone is looking to see the other countries in the mainland. Are they going to be able to give solutions to, for example, that whole tunnel being closed?
I think.
Are they going to give passage to some of these goods and?
I think it will have to come down to a summit. Those people will have to sit, the Islamic nation, the European Union, things like that.
Like the organizations, the international organizations have to come out.
They will have to come out because I don't really think this is a war of bombs and missiles. It's really like maybe more of a war of wit. Because I want these people to align with my narrative. So would I send them to war, or would I make that trade? Would I make that trade more beneficial to them?
But it's really sad how things are turning out, because you remember when Russia and Ukraine war started, we thought this was like a 2-3 day thing and we will forget about it.
They're still fighting.
And we even know you've heard of people who are actually fighting for either the Russian.
Yep.
I think it's majorly the Africans being recruited. They're fighting for the Russian army.
Yeah, they are. Now that we're talking about conflict, man, you're a Kenyan. You went to Russia maybe to work as a plant engineer, something. Maybe you've even gone to study. Then here you are. You found yourself in Russia, and you have now been enlisted to a war that you know nothing about.
But I don't think they're just randomly enlisting. They're actually enlisting people who are interested.
Not quite. I beg to differ, because there was a guy that came on a podcast, and he said he was lured into joining the military.
So I think, how long has this war been going on?
Forever, man.
Yeah, so I think in the beginning they were desperate and they used whatever means and tactics they had to ensure that these people were recruited. But I think somewhere along the way they started getting good ambassadors from this luring. Like, there are people who actually went, enjoyed, and were happy with the money. So they sort of started now selling the narrative and trying to recruit as many people as possible.
But either way, you see the
Kenyans
who went to Russia and they will not come back.
Quite a number.
Yes,
and
that is sad to say the least, because I was going to apologize, but no, I can't apologize for this government, because you see, these people walitolewa Kenya na hii scheme fulani ya udama L&L anaitwa nani? Alfred Mutua.
Yes.
Walitolewa ati kazi majuu. So wewe umejipata hapa kazi majuu.
Plus creating jobs abroad program.
The whole kazi majuu shit, it's not like they're taking you out to work. It's like hii vitu yote tunakufanyia.
It's just stop sanitizing. It's almost like slavery.
It is slavery. Because you tell me, umenitafutia visa, umenilipia ndege, and then I'm supposed to pay for that shit.
Yeah,
it's like a loan.
Yeah.
And then nafika huko, now I have to do everything, even including fighting a war I know nothing about, to pay you guys back.
Unfortunately,
I think you guys could have just sat me in this country, made
the whole thought around what did you call it? Opportunities abroad, especially the one that the government was trying to negotiate for.
This is
I think they didn't think
abroad.
it through. Hey, you could say that. I don't think they thought it through in terms of they only figured it that you'd get there, get the job, put your head down, do the job, earn the money, and then once you've had enough, go back home.
I believe they thought about it.
So they didn't think about other factors,
no,
like
a
war going on, and then you have to choose a side or...
No, I believe they did. You can't toward this government from where money is, where deals are involved. We have...
like it's that bad.
We have leaders who are actually dealers.
Okay.
Because tell me why, yeah? Previously, after before hii kazi majuu ilianza, see there was another governor who was implicated in a scam kupeleka sijui watu ilikuwa which country ati wanaenda kustudy.
Australia.
Yeah. Hapo ndo kwenye wanini wakatokea through that scam we found very, what can I say, what is the accurate word, vocal, very vocal of wanitoaje activists. Kama usichana alikuwa anaitwa nani, alikuja Kanyamadha tu all of a sudden, Kenya ni home.
Who's that?
See, there was the person that blew the trumpet.
Or the lady who was supposed to...
The whistle.
The one who was being interviewed and then she was vocal about what had happened and where it had left her.
I actually asked myself,
I think she was really fighting for that cause because I think she sort of knew a lot of people who'd lost through that whole system. So, and I think more of a community, they wanted to settle this as a community. But I think she was not very comfortable with how they were discussing even how they were going to settle it. And she said, if I don't blow the whistle on this is something that's going to continue and keep affecting many people in the community. And you could see from the reactions, it was something people had been wanting to say, but probably they did not find the...
But where is she now?
I don't know where she is.
Me, I know where she is. Alienda hiyo majuu.
Her path was cleared.
Have you even seen her on social media? Hiyo kelele mingi iliisha.
I'll have to look her up to just see what became of the...
Wewe niambie, napiga kelele na kuna mabigi wako involved. Like they can throw whatever amount of money onto a problem. Mimi niko vocal, napiga kelele, sijui nini, pesa yetu mlituibia. Then they isolate me, wakwambia cheki. Pesa yako ilikuwa ngapi? Ilikuwa kaa 500,000. 500,000 ndio nakufanya unapiga kelele yote. Na wasi wangu sasa inakuaje? Wakwambia wewe tulia. Tutawapanga. Fanyaje? Shika hii 5 million, panga mambo yako, majuu utaenda. Hiyo kazi ulikuwa unataka kufanya majuu.
To silence you from asking for your right.
Exactly. But you see, man, in this country, it's either they pay you for your silence or they silence you. So which one is better? Take the money and go.
We are in really tough times. And you know, someone was even saying the other day, and I don't know what your thoughts are. They said, kura yako sio siri yako. We want to see who you voted for. We want to see who you have decided or have chosen to be the person.
So you just say Sifuna.
No. So like people hide behind kura yangu siri yangu. They choose bad leaders and then they come back to complain with the masses who did not choose that leader. So we are now holding people accountable to the card.
But then did you enroll? Me, I enrolled. Mimi
enrolled for?
Linda Mwananchi.
Okay.
Kulikuwa na nini?
There's a website. I know. I saw a post somewhere saying, let's show them the numbers.
Bro, like, okay, I'll explain later, but we are part of the struggle, man. This website imetoka. Sijui 4 days later, you don't know there's a website and people are enrolling. How?
I have no idea. You're just telling me this now. So
kura yako si serious, sio siri.
But now you see, as I said, we are talking about political relationships, and we've just now touched on politics. I would like to know, what exactly are you signing up for in Linda ground?
Linda Mwananchi.
Linda Mwananchi. What exactly are you signing up for?
I'm signing up to be a Sifuna because mimi ni Sifuna. And I most definitely agree to the views of one Edwin Sifuna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which are?
Hot seat.
No, okay. So to bring this to perspective, we as a country have had political alignments and political relationships with parties or people.
But you see,
so sometimes it's important to actually look back and think and even ask yourself, why do I align with so and so? and not with another person? Or why do I advocate for policies of, for example, Linda Mwananchi, or I'm standing with UDA, for example?
No, he speaks for me. He speaks for me because me staki corruption iendelee. Like I just told you, we're in a country where we don't have leaders, we have dealers. Everything is a deal. Napiga hii project na kutengeneza Talanta Stadium.
There's nothing for free.
Na kutengeneza Talanta Stadium at a very like bloated charge. Mtu alikuwa anasema hata Old Trafford is not as expensive as the Talanta Hela on paper.
But why is that?
Because somebody has to make a deal.
Wow. Are we
Speaking of deals, have you seen this Rafael Tuju story?
Wow. Political relationships. It will still take me back to, as we said.
It's not quite political. Ni hapo kwa dealers.
You think so?
It is. Because okay, let me give you some backstory. This guy took this loan in how long ago? It was like 20 years. Oh, okay, it was years.
A couple of years ago.
It was a couple of years ago.
Down the line.
The whole thing was he was supposed to raise 30%. Then a bank was supposed to finance him. So he raised his part of 30%. Then the other bank, which happened maybe wasn't a local bank, did not meet the bargain. So he was bound to fail from the beginning. It was going to bite him in his ass from the start.
For this particular loan he was taking,
because like it's not like the property is worth to be. It has accrued interest until to be.
Oh, the actual credit has accrued interest
to 2 billion.
Oh,
and you see what he's saying right now is that it's not that I don't have the money to pay you guys. It is you guys don't want this money. You want this land because right now it has become so what it has doubled its value. So now it's worth much more than 2 billion.
So, and you don't want to say that. So as a result, you're going to use all weird means and ways to frustrate me into letting it go.
This case has been in the courts for like forever. They've just been pushing. So
it's just come to the limelight because now they pushed him to the wall.
Which is a sad place to be, by the way. I pity that guy.
I felt so bad. Like, and you know, at some point he even spoke about his right in the Constitution is being violated.
Yeah.
And you know, we are looking at him now. Today it will be him. Tomorrow it might be me. Yeah. Who knows? So
but if you see, there's a silver lining. Another sema-tu-tu-tami stories.
Was that so hard for you to say from the beginning? You were like giving me a backstory going back and forth.
No, but see, that's where we are now. I mean, his problems lie with just one statement.
And for me, I think when we went to election or as we waited, I was worried that one thing that would happen to Kenyans is we are going to get to a point where every soul is sellable.
Yeah.
When every soul is sellable. So when the current government was getting into power, I had my reservations about certain things, and I'm just slowly coming to see them pass. I feared that we'd get to a point where everybody will be sellable. Like, what's your price? And we will normalize it to a point. If you're not selling it, you're the fool.
Yep.
Like, but we stand for no morals, we stand for no accountability. We are just, as long as it benefits me, I will do it.
But
I
you know,
do not care if it is harming
we were forewarned,
anybody else.
you remember?
I know, but we found ourselves in this situation.
But also, it's also a matter of society.
So we need to start showing good examples. And
to who?
Leaders with good examples to come out and, you know, be standing for something. Then now it starts to paint this,
that's why
the correct thing to be the normal.
Now you understand.
I get you. So yeah, we are also saying choose your sides wisely. It definitely should be something you agree and stand for. We are not just gonna be, actually, I'm choosing Linda Mwananchi. I'm choosing Linda Mwananchi just because MKTS is in Linda Mwananchi. No, you have to have
those other guys.
reasons.
Those other guys are not even Linda Ground. They're Linda Tumbo.
Okay.
Well, speaking of conflict, conflict doesn't just come in maybe political, financial. It also comes in relationships.
Wow. Yes. We definitely have to talk about and mentioning relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I don't know why we always just think when we mention relationship, it's
Male-female.
yes, male female,
Mm-hmm.
or boyfriend girlfriend. Like partnered relationships.
Mm-hmm.
There are other partner relationships that are beyond boy girl.
Yeah, sure.
We have even family relationships are also
Kwanza
important
hizo ndo nilikuwa
relationships.
nasema by the way.
Ala,
Ah.
uko na kitu uko nataka kutoa kwa
Hapana, family yangu we good peoples, man. We only 3 people. We talk every day. Sini mimi sis na madhe.
Oh, that's amazing. So yeah, as we're saying, relationships are important. Be it so we sometimes take for granted, especially friendships.
Yeah.
As relationships. So you put in what you put in is what you get
What
out.
you
So
should
if you
get.
put in effort, you nurture the relationship, you expect to get really the same back. But you can't be saying, I have a good friend or I have a bad friend, but you've not invested in that friendship, for example. So if and as we say, relationships, it's become a bit more complicated with the relationships of today.
Now, which ones? The family relations,
So
the
I have
political relations,
we've spoken a little bit about political
or
relations.
the relations you have with your people.
Yes, generally the relations you have with your people.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing what? You're dating, seriously seeing someone, or situationship.
Okay, that seriously seeing someone. Hey,
Please,
syllabus inaenda
don't quote
mbio.
me. Do not quote me anywhere. I hear nowadays people are just friends.
For real?
Apparently.
Ebu explain that dynamic.
So I don't really get it. The dating trends, or let me say, I don't even have words for.
Doesn't it a situationship?
I don't even know what
talking
is situationship.
Yeah,
like
I don't
you're
know.
friends, you're not friends, you're together, you're not together.
I don't know. Okay, I've never been in one, so I wouldn't know. But from what I see being peddled around, it's like uko na mtu but inategemea nani anauliza.
Wow. Wow. Mbona tu huwezi kuwa tu na mtu and that be your final answer wherever, it does not matter who's asking. What's so hard in that?
Si ati na watetea or anything, but unaweza kuwa na mtu na huyo mtu hayuko na wewe.
Then what kind of relation? Mbona uko na huyo mtu na huyo mtu hayuko na wewe?
Sio tunasema relationship za saa hii ni very complicated.
Nasi uko mbona usi like, and people communicating.
People communicate just enough.
For you to be knowing your place in whichever
just
relationship
enough.
you are in. So, but that's what I'm saying. Enough for you to be. If it's not enough, why don't you ask for clarity? What are we specifically?
Hapo swali ya what are we? Umoja ya lakini honestly.
Kwanza saidi noma.
Honestly, ati umechat na mse leo, kesho mmepatana. Alafu maybe namna hii mambo ikakua. Alafu kesho yake asubuhi okay. What are we?
Oh my God.
Bro, we are human beings. we are citizens.
Unaongea mbaya.
Hapana, mimi honestly mimi nasema hivi juu. Sorry wase wangu wenye wanapiganga. Mimi sijaiko kwa situationship. Mimi akona msa ameniuliza story ya what are we.
You communicate.
Yeah, communicate.
And you position.
Shida yangu pia okay. Hey, nimefikaje nikajiongelea but my communication is rough. Nakwambianga hapo na hapo.
That's not rough. Okay, let me not say that's not rough because I don't know how you deliver it.
Kwa delivery ndio shida ukua.
Niko nasema hivyo.
Niko nasema communication yangu ni rough. I think maybe it's because of age also. Sijuangi kusugarcoat vitu. Utafanya kitu fulala nitakwambia
So you can still be honest without being rough. Like your method of delivery determines actually the reception of whatever you're trying to communicate. If you go hostile, I might not take it as what do you
Unajua
call
sio
it?
kila mtu anapenda ukweli. So hata ukikuwa polite ni
But
ukweli
then
aje.
if you know someone enough to be telling them the truth, should be able to know how to do it as well.
You see, now that's the problem, Awe fanya mzuri ka mention, because mimi naona ni kama hizi modern day relationships zinafanyanga uji compromise kwanza.
What do you mean by that?
Venye nimesema, me I'm a straight shooter, nitakwambia straight to your face. So if I get somebody who is maybe, what is the word? Mwenye nikimwambia straight to their face ana feel some type of way. So itabidi nije compromise, nianze kutafuta venye nitamu accommodate, so that I start losing parts of me to make this other person comfortable.
If you're always shooting straight, like I tell you the truth, hard punch, it doesn't matter who you're telling. It's just that we've said, if you know I will not take it lying down, for example, you figure out how to package it so that I also receive whatever you're trying to tell me. Because if I am guarded because I know you're gonna be brutal, I'll not be getting the message you're trying to send.
And that means then you're not meant for each other.
Hii kitu imetokaje kwa conflict hadi imefika kwa
meant for each other? It's conflict.
Basic communication.
Ni conflict.
But
conflict
this is
of interest.
basic communication, not necessarily with your partner, but with everybody around you.
Still,
because you have relations literally everywhere you are.
Still does not. Oh, no. Me, I'll tell you something straight. You will take it how you will take it, but in hindsight, utaona nika umse kuna kitu alisema na it makes sense. So if I can tell you something straight, na uichukue. Why shouldn't I tell anybody else the same thing straight?
But you see, that's what should I call it? That's the trade-off. You either tell them in a way that they will accept, or you don't tell it at all. But you want to be you want to be authentic, and this thing is pissing you off or it's not working. So you live with it just because they can't take the truth.
So you see, hii kujinyamazia ama kutosema kitu inakusumbua, it eventually starts a war within your mind.
Really?
Because there's stuff you need to get off your chest. But it's still in your chest. So unabaki hapo una overthink, unaweka ma scenario, unaanza kuweka ma 1+1 zenye zinakuwa ma 11.
That's what we say. Stop living in your head. Communicate.
So we're just revolving around the same thing. Communicate.
But just be mindful of how you communicate.
Maybe uko kwa relationship na msee anakuambia niaje, I feel like you're gaining a lot of weight. Unaweza punguza weight yako. Then una take offense. Na umesema nimenona. Kwani inakaa vibaya?
But let me tell you. Okay, so body insecurity is a totally different conversation. You cannot even just casually mention something like that if you're trying to communicate to your partner.
Okay. You say it in your own
way. I'm not saying like this would be applicable differently to different people, you know?
Yeah.
The conversation can always start from somewhere where you are from a helping. Like sometimes, by the way, I think it should be common sense. Before we actually say or do something, we should be able to ask ourselves, am I building or am I breaking? If you're building, then go ahead. If you're breaking, then it makes no sense to communicate whatever it is you want to communicate.
But you see,
and if I am building, how do I execute?
So now, like we said, so tunaongelea ma situationships. People find themselves in these situationships because they don't know what they are doing. They don't know if they are building. They don't know how far they are going. They're just there maybe for the plot.
But now that's the interesting thing. Why do you get into these relations to begin with? Like, that should be driving your connections and your engagements with people, you know?
You just can't tell somebody's needs firsthand. The intentions I'm saying, you can't tell them firsthand.
Yes, you can't. But you will be saying openly what your intentions are. But it's never about the other party. It's you.
Shida ya kusema openly what your intentions are.
Yes.
You're giving this other person an opportunity to pretend that they fit in.
But they won't be able to pretend for too long.
But still, they'll have wasted your time. For all this time, they are pretending.
So unasemanga hapa, God give me the spirit of discernment.
Kuna vitu vingine hata God anakuambia cheki, tumia akili, atofala.
No, but so speaking of situationships, I think people who find themselves in those situations actually are as confused as as the whole situation, because I think you get yourself there when you've not clearly defined what you're looking for.
You as a person now.
You as a person, and the person you're also getting into is also has not clearly defined what they're looking for. Or sometimes they know what they're looking for, they just want to pass time. So they pull up a situationship because that allows them to pass that all the time they want. And then when 1 year, 2 years down the line, you start asking, who are we? I'd be like, we were just friends.
Exactly. Yeah. Why are you forcing it?
Yeah, or we are not, like, it's never that serious.
For real, after we come to 2 years.
My friend, we are not communicating enough as I don't know whether this is a Kenyan thing or just a human thing. People are not communicating enough.
Why are we
to
not
be able to speak out about what they want? Sometimes people, I think there are people who maybe, like, you meet a good person, they look or they feel like they would be a good match for you.
A safe space.
Yes, and then somewhere along the way, because of the conversations you've had, the interactions you've had, you're not so sure whether what you want to say you want would be considered too much.
So you just
or not enough, or probably would make it paint you in a different light. But if that's what you really truly want, what's holding you back from letting your partner know?
Sindo hiyo sasa. And
communication.
Communication, like you said, kwanza umesema you need to package your communication. Communication is not supposed to be packaged. Communication just goes.
Wacha nikwambie, let me give you an example. If I wanted you to help me do something, and I came and said, MKTS, I would like to move that table from point A to point B. Could you please help me? And if I came and said, MKTS, Kwani, you can't be seeing me walking around and trying to carry this heavy table and you can't help me.
I can't help.
So you get my point.
Yeah, but
the mode of delivery truly determines the outcome.
But still, still, point ni, hatuwezi sugarcoat ukweli. There are some things, no matter how you say them, they're just facts. Na kuna watu wanaogopa ukweli huku nje, by the way. Kuna watu wezi waambia. Like, sasa, you tell them a truth, and now they start feeling like, ikitu umeniambia kenye inanifanyia. They look into themselves. Umeniambia, sijui nakaaje. Sasa inaanza kuwa affect. Instead of them getting the point, ya kenye ulikuwa unajaribu kuwaambia. Like, if you do A, the repercussions that this A, zitakuwa B.
You understand that there are people who are also overthinkers.
Yeah.
And sometimes some of these things you tell people, like, it sort of becomes now their point of focus. That's what remember when I told you, the things you ask yourself, am I building or am I breaking? Before you actually decide, if I give this compliment or if I give this comment, it will go to build instead of break. Because there's definitely a part of you that has an insecurity for one reason or the other.
Yeah.
And how someone sometimes mentions it or handles it with you, you'd be more appreciative of their concern or their whatever they're trying to communicate than someone just picking on you, and it feels like someone is picking on you.
Sasa ni watu wakubwa bana. Kama una emotional intelligence kwa hii miaka jo, there's a problem.
That emotional intelligence is what should be able to guide you to have these conversations with people.
Sasa wewe imagine, nakwambia kitu tu ya important, yani nakwambia okay, mimi ni mtu wako, kuna vitu si appreciate. Alafu unaanza kujam. Unajamia nini? Mimi nakwambia venye unanifanya ni treat mimi. So unajam kana.
Which brings me to this hot topic that everybody talks about. Love languages. Allah, you do not subscribe.
I don't have a love. I don't know. Do I? I don't know.
So love language basically is not. I don't think it's like a new thing. It's just that they've reclassified and given it a new name. Growing up, we experienced love differently within, for example, our homes, our neighbors, people around us. How we saw different families loving each other, their children, and the in-betweens. So as you grow up into an adult, that shapes how you maybe view love, see love, receive, or even give love. Starting right from the house, like maybe, for example, how your parents related with each other. let me give you a very basic example. You grow up in a household where, you know, dad is provider, and provider means provision is what means, it means to love.
Yes.
So for you, the provision bit shows that that person loves you. So you know your love language tends to, like what now they would call your love language would be like acts of service.
Acts of service.
Yes, and something like that. So it's not actually a very complicated thing. It's just how you view and receive love. And you know, people could be partners and they view and see love differently.
So kama mmoja wao love language yake ni acts of service na mwingine ni quality time.
So what my thoughts, these are my thoughts. My thoughts, I think people should be loved by how they would like to receive it. Do not love someone by what you think they would like to be loved, or how you think they would like to be loved. I think that's where sometimes the conflict comes in. Like for example, for me, my love language would be gifting. So the way I love you is by gifting you. Yet, for you, your love language is words of affirmation.
No, it's not.
I'm saying, for example, words of affirmation. So you know, you'll get to a point you start feeling like they don't even love you because they're not loving you the way they're supposed to love you.
They're not showing me like,
yes,
not giving me words of affirmation.
The modern dating scene or the modern relationships thrive a lot on people being able to define what they want, how they want it. And I truly shout out to partners that sit and listen and actually execute.
Yeah, mother, shout out to those people.
As their partner wants. And it's a relation, just as we're talking about relationship.
Shout out to those people, man.
You have to be intentional, you have to be present.
But mimi niko tuna kitu moja kusema. Penda mtu anakupenda.
And how do you know that if you do not, if people are not even willing to try. People are anxious everywhere.
People are not willing to try.
Watu wako tu rada.
I think people are not willing to try because people have been disappointed like 100 times. I see, mimi naonanga by the naambianga watu, ukiwa nao kama kina Kibe wa Kibonga. They're not saying this because they want to say it. They're saying it from a point of information. They have actually lived through this situation.
But sometimes I also think some of those opinions are not quite open-minded because they're speaking from a singular experience.
Exactly, but umejua sisi nilikwambia last time, wanaume waongeangi. Wakishapatana, do you want to know why mtu kaa Kibe ako popular? Wase wana relate na stories zake, especially men. Akienda huko anaanza kusema venye.
They do.
Yeah. Hata si Kibe peke yake, somebody like Sigi. Angalia kwa comments zake, pia mimi nilifanywa hivyo. Pia mimi, madem ni hivyo.
So unajua wanasema kwa kila soko iko na all participants in the market. You'll have your mama mboga, you'll have your pickpocket, you'll have ule announcer, you know. So there's a representation of whatever is happening in the dating world, in relationships, that's probably being replicated elsewhere. But that does not generalize the whole pool. Yes, those
it doesn't generalize, but it
one or two events are happening.
It gives a population base. Like we can gauge this information from statistics that watu wamefanyiwa hii. Kama watu wamefanyiwa hii watu 7 out of watu 10, obviously.
And you know, and it's a bit disadvantageous that it's pretty much okay for men to express, you know, to talk about it and they learn from these experiences. But when it's turned the other way around and a girl would want to warn people of a situation like oh, I went through this. Those do happen. People have those conversations. But now the people will be shaming her like, hey, kwani wewe ni mnoma aje unajuaje hiyo situation?
Hakuna hata sio hivyo by the way. It depends unaangalia from what angle. Because you see, Mseka Kibe, he generally talks to men. It's just hurt women.
I do not agree with him and
it's just hurt women who go to his posts to comment. It's like you're not the target audience, man. They talk hapa. It's venye tu mimi huwezi nipata kwa comments zako.
I don't even know why people actually listen to that guy, because I don't think he lives even an inch of any of those things he says.
You are not the target audience.
I agree. I totally agree. I would not even look his way twice or listen to, because I always feel like it's fabricated. It's some macho advice that doesn't really.
You see nini?
It's not really backed up by any evidence.
Wacha sisi wanaume to complain because sisi ndio audience wake. Alafu in another thing is wanaume wamekapitia. Ni venye tu si watu bongi. Tunanyamazanga tunasema ni hivyo imehappen ni sawa tutaendelea. But ukipata msee mwenye ni mouthpiece anaongelea hizo story unaanza ku relate like shit man, kumbe if I was wiser this shit wouldn't have happened to me in that line.
You think?
I know.
I feel like it just feels like there's a fear of commitment out here.
It's not a fear of commitment. Unaonanga hata wasemanga ati twice bitten once bitten twice shy.
Yeah.
Okay, umekuwa kwa relationship, umeisukuma 2 years, imekuwa fiti. Then all of a sudden imekuwa tu mawe. Unaingia kwa nyumba hakuna mse anabonga. The atmosphere is tense.
But why do why are we too quick to fight that we are to resolve issues?
Let me land. Unauliza shida ni nini? Niko poa. Inakuja na tone fulani niko poa. Then unaangalia unaona mazee hapa isiwezi kaa kwa nyumba. What do? You call a few friends. Yo ni aje, what's up? Papi, niko mahali kuja kama 2 beers ago. Unaongea, rudi kwa nyumba thinking hiyo pressure imeisha. Ukirudi pressure imedouble. Unasikia sasa umetoka kwa mama malaya wako sasa.
Oh my god.
Like, bruh, I couldn't sit in this house because you were in a mood. Nyumba yenye unalipia rent. Nyumba umebuy food. Huyu mzee mwenye kwa hiyo nyumba umemprovide ABC. So umetoka job umetoka. Unataka ukuje home, relax man. You will rest your head on someone's bosom. But that bosom is too cold, man.
But that's what I say. What are you doing, as you're giving an example of that situation? What are you actively doing to try and resolve the situation?
See, you've given her time to cool down. So umetoka ukamwacha kwa space yake, pengine ulimpata kama ako in a mood ama kuna assignment alikuwa anafanya hajamaliza. So
I think it always comes back to communication.
So si ndio umempatia time ya aende. So in this case who is not communicating?
And by the way, silence is not that's not communication.
Exactly. Na
silent treatment actually.
Sasa mimi najiambia if I'm with a person that is capable of going mute on me for 24 hours
because they're trying to communicate without saying what it is they want.
They are saying without saying.
I think that we are at fault for trying to use silent treatment as a weapon. And I think women, we have been the perpetrators
of silent treatment.
Of silent treatment. And I think probably because I think traditionally you are frowned upon when you probably aired out your grievances. You are supposed to, sit through, vumilia, and, it will pass.
But now that we are here, hebu niambie, niko sure in your previous relationships or your current one, you've used that silent treatment card.
That's what I'm saying. I think we as a society, and this is not even for women alone. As a society, we need to learn to communicate. It's healthy to communicate.
The question
so when
is,
something happens,
the question is,
yes,
what does it achieve? Silent treatment can achieve nini?
That's what I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So as we relate and something rubs you the wrong way, the most important thing to do is say it. Name it. Say that you pushed my item from the table. I didn't like it, and then because sometimes probably it was unconsciously done.
Exactly.
Then you apologize or for whatever action. Then we move on from there. So once you have pushed my cup, you're not aware you've pushed my cup. I am giving you silent treatment because of that action you've done. It helps nothing. I will be penting up energy, trying to remain silent while I should be having a conversation with you, using so much energy, piling it all in, while I could have just said that word.
Imagine.
And that would have been over. So silent treatment is not a mode of communication. My people, let's talk to each other.
Na watu wengine wako kujikasirishanga. Mtu azin tuko sawa, like tumeenda mahali, we've had a meal, we've had a good time. As in una feel tu uko poa, like this day cannot go worse. Mnafika kwa nyumba unaanza kuulizwa Mary ni nani?
Your house chronicles. We should come back.
Okay, this is mimi. This is story zangu.
I know.
But
so it seems like it's something that happens quite a lot.
It happens, and the reason I'm bringing it out, it happens in my circles. I hear my guys talk about this shit all the time. Ati umeenda out na demu yako, mko happy. As in,
so sometimes
hadi unaulizwa Mary ni nani? Wewe mwenyewe kwa akili haija register unajua Mary. Hadi kidogo unaweza ruka usema mimi sijui Mary.
Sometimes actually what happens when people are having a really good time, some people just always just want to sabotage that by pulling in a 360 and unawekwa kesi because of something. That still brings me back to what I said, communication. Because you're not going to be bringing up things from like 5 years ago. If you communicate and handle them as they go.
But unajua hata in as much as we are communicating, utaniuliza wewe Mary ni nani? Then now when I go back to my senses nikumbuka maybe pengine ni fan wa pod. Pengine tulipatana naye event fulani.
Yeah, right.
Alafu sasa nikikuja niangalia communication, alini text hi dear, nikalenga. Akani text tena hi good morning, nikamjibu hi dear I'm good, sema have a nice day. Alafu pengine akateleza mkono akaongeza hand.
Ati kuteleza mkono?
Yeye ndo aliteleza. Kwa ukiangalia kwa communication ya mimi na huyo Mary hakuna we're not exchanging niceties.
I don't even want to hear the rest of the story. You've already committed an atrocity because how did Mary get to a point of calling you Han? Like, what level of comfort have you guys gotten into?
So even a level of comfort. Unaona, kuna wase fulani wanapenda ku-associate. MKTS, podcast.
Yeah, but it's very important that you lay boundaries.
Let me finish. Huyo Mary, message zenye mimi na yeye tuko nazo ni 3. Ya kwanza yenye alinitumia, hi, nikalenga. Ya pili yenye alinitumia, hi dear, nikajibu, hi, I'm good. How are you? Akanijibu hiyo ya 3 ya kuharibu maneno. Unajua bale. Honestly.
So how do you know that the only form of communication with Mary is WhatsApp?
Sasa hiyo mimi niuliza nitakujibu.
But anyway,
sikia. Ufanya deep point yangu imepotea. Nilikuwa nataka kusema
the communication has been pretty clear.
Huyo Mary, mimi hata by the time unaniuliza Mary ni nani, I register kwa mind yangu nakumbuka Mary. So nitakumbuka baadaye like shit, nilimit you them kwa event to exchange numbers. Nothing went forward, but since pia women are not stupid huyu Mary anataka kutest waters, anataka kuona ufala naweza mteka na hii message moja.
So you say it's like a trap.
It's a trap. Sana kutumia ndo ujamu mwambie ni aje musi ni text hivyo. Fala ata fall for it. Ata reply na I hand.
Oh my.
Na kama hata uziano wako hata mjuani hivyo. Hata by the pengine mtapatana sasa on the next date uone hata si type yako.
So I think people also don't put enough boundaries to be able to define how we relate. But like this is how far I can go in terms of relation or association with you, and this is how far you can come with the relation to
ilifika mahali nikaacha kusave manamba za watu kwa simu.
Yeah, that helps as well.
Because mtu anataka kuassociate na wewe hadi anafeel kama mko intimate. Wewe hata as in msana anakupigianga tu order.
Is it what you say or what you do?
It's what I hear. It's what I hear. Mtu anakupigianga tu masimu sijui saa 2. Mambo nilikuwa nataka tu kukusalimia. Mtu anajua mahali naishi, anakuja na kugongea mlango. Hi, I was just passing by. I saw your door was unlocked. I decided to say hi. Why are you coming to my house?
Boundaries. You remember I said boundaries. Exactly. If you don't lay them well.
Now you see, the problem is
the lines will be very blurry.
Which is okay, but unaona inakuanga trigger. Msichana amekuja kwa mlango yangu. Hajawahi kuja before. Ndio amekuja mara ya kwanza. Si lazima akuje ndio nile hizo boundaries.
Lakini mimi
ufika kwa mlango wangu nikuambie cheki. Niko na dem kwa ikeja, ufai kuja hapa.
Sometimes I think even you people just put yourselves in like you volunteer to have problems because
hebu mtu ambie by the way mnataka anga aje.
Sometimes hata saa zingine like zingine salimia mtu iishie na salamu.
Na si ndio hivyo inaisha.
Taking someone's number, you're not even going to talk to them.
Okay.
It's not even going to be an honest friendship.
Skiza.
Why do you put yourself in those situations?
Okay, let me put myself in the line of fire here because I'm using myself as an example. Mimi ni podcaster, mimi ni writer, mimi niko na mabiz. Namba zangu
keep it professional.
Namba zangu ziko social media. Ukitaka namba yangu utapata.
Keep it professional.
Sasa si mimi nime keep it professional, sija ku contact. Ni wewe umenitext, alafu kwa akili yako hiyo ukaamua ongeze hand kwa hiyo message. Mimi nitakublock.
Let's keep it professional. Yes, or even block it.
Sasa utani text hi, nitakujibu. Nitaona hauna agenda, nitaacha kukuongelesha. Hiyo ni boundary. But you have to do it fast. But sasa unacheki huyu mwenye anajikasirisha Jumeria amenitext hi Han, hajakuja akapata backstory ya history yote.
Sometimes you don't need a backstory. So in short, what we're also saying, let's just be straightforward people. Let's communicate our needs and wants to our partners. Let's be honest with each other as we keep each other accountable. Unajua, they say sometimes integrity is what you do when people are not watching. Yes. I think that is missing a lot kwa most relations, you know. They'll as you say, someone would pretend in front of you, but behind your back they're doing something very different. So if we keep ourselves
let me ask.
Yes.
Is that why you look into people's phones?
That's violating privacy, if you ask me. If you ask me, that's violating privacy. I believe that we should be grown up enough to be responsible. To accord each other the grace. Be responsible enough to be taking our relation seriously. If I know this is a violation of my partner's feelings, for example, or this would hurt my partner's feelings, why should I do it?
Would you sue somebody for going through your phone?
Wow.
Let's say you are in an industry where you keep secrets for people. Maybe you're a lawyer. That's
dangerous, actually.
You're a lawyer. Your boyfriend or your girlfriend goes through your phone. They find out intimate details of a case that is going on. They want to tie these details to how you behave, and they start an issue about something that they saw in your phone.
So that's now a bit complicated because there's so many parties involved there, because you're trying, as you said, it's information you're protecting. I know there's a case I once had where I think someone had sued the other for, I think, support. And then the person who was sued went and got information illegally. So that's what you could be talking about. Maybe they snoop through your messages, they see client details, and then they use that against the defendant or the plaintiff in court. That's a violation of privacy, first of all. But it also speaks to you as a person. How do you store your sensitive data? How accessible is the data that you're handling? For example, if you're
if I have a phone, if I have a phone, and maybe I have a password or a fingerprint or a pattern, it means it's my password, it's my fingerprint, it's my PIN. If I'm with you and I give you the liberty of having a password on my phone, it should look like I have trusted you enough to keep whatever information you get on my phone private the way it is. But sasa wewe, because unataka kujua Mary ni nani, you want to go through my messages with everybody,
but okay,
finding out what I talk to.
This phone issue, it's a thorn in the flesh. I think, or as adults, we should just respect each other's privacy. Mind your own business.
Me, what I'd like to say about that is, as adults, is just know your place in somebody's life.
Yes.
Mtu kama amekwambia wewe ndio bibi yake ama wewe ndio demu yake, wewe ndio number one wake, as in, okay, si kukuambia peke yake. There's a way of life in your same naishingi. As a person unajua, huyu msee ako na intentions fit na mimi. So amekuweka in a position where you don't need to question.
Exactly. You feel safe enough not to question some of these things.
Yeah.
But also, I think we should also be very careful the kind of partners we choose. Basically, that means you want someone who's emotionally intelligent. They know this is a go zone for me and this is a no-go zone for me, for example.
So don't choose people who go through your phone.
That could be a sign of... So one thing I know, one thing I think I hear it being spoken a lot out there. The reason most people snoop around their partner's phone is because of an insecurity.
Yes, I was going to say it's an esteem issue.
Maybe an esteem issue, maybe it's a past trauma event. Like as you said, people have been out here, they've been heartbroken enough times. And sometimes even some people, it's so normal to change phones. I go through your phones. They even like sometimes I think some partners get to meetings where I'm spilling the beans on who's vibing me, who's trying to do all this, and you're doing the same. And we are also even exchanging notes on how to respond to such people. You know, when it gets to a relationship that is open enough for you to have such, and it takes a lot of emotional intelligence to be on that level. I think you get to a point where the phone snooping is not an issue. But if you're living with someone where they tell you A and they're doing B, like most times the actions and words do not match. So the other partner is always looking for evidence to reaffirm or to reassure them that whatever their partner said is what they are going to do.
So now you get what I mean when I say it's an esteem issue. You feel like you're not enough, and whatever this person is doing.
Yes, and also sometimes your esteem, security, maybe all under one roof.
You feel like kuna kitu inakukwaza, you're not enough, and you feel like maybe this guy ananieka tu, he's looking for something better. It can't be me. So you're looking at yourself kwanza na lens ya uhafifu, like it can't be me. I'm not enough for this guy. There's obviously somebody else. So unaanza kujikasirisha, unaingia kwa simu. Hata mtu it's nothing by the ni msetu mumeitana tu dia.
I think we should start encouraging very healthy relationships amongst ourselves.
No, me honestly nikikuwa kwa relationship na kwanga mtu mwenye anaweza kupatia simu yangu na password zangu zote. Me sinanga
like there's nothing to hide.
There's nothing to hide. I'm an open book in a relationship. Nitakwambia everything that you need to know. I don't think
that's usually the point. But unapata watu, these guys, the snooping guys, that phone that is being snooped has usually like levels of passwords.
Exactly.
And the person who is snooping is also always looking as the most innocent. Yeah. The most innocent in the whole situation.
Mimi naonanga mtu mwenye anaanza kusnoop simu yako, yeye mwenyewe ako na kitu ana hide.
I don't agree.
Because
there's a truth to it, but
comme ça.
Yeah, it could be, yes, they do, but I don't know. I don't support it. I don't agree with it, and
it's
there's nothing even to talk. Yeah, it is definitely.
Speaking of red flags. Apart from kusnoop simu, what else do you take as a no in a relationship?
Inconsistency.
Alisema hivi jana, amefanya hivi leo.
Yes. If just as I said, if your words do not match your actions, you're just like, how can I? You know, we are for easy relationship, we are giving each other the benefit of doubt. You'll do good by me, I'll do good by you. So by giving each other this benefit of doubt, we are letting the other see our vulnerability, as well as them letting us see their vulnerability. And in a healthy environment, this grows into a very powerful partnership.
Sure.
Amongst these people,
because each of you know each other.
Yes, and you've let each other into a point. You're actually a team. When you partner with someone, this is your teammate.
It's your teammate, actually.
You're on the same side.
Exactly.
And those are things I think people do not
understand. People don't understand, by the way. People don't understand.
If you treat this person as an opponent or as a competitor, amwendi mbali.
Hakuna mahali mtaenda, by the way. Sasa mimi yangu kuna this thing ati uko na mtu wako, the phone is on silent, it's always facing down. Akipigiwa simu anatoka kwenda kushika simu na nje.
Red flag.
Once umenifanyia hivyo, bro, I'm not talking to you again.
That's a major red flag.
The more important people you're hiding from me,
And
so you
I
just go
always
be with
feel
them.
like when you're in the peak of the courtship or the talking stage or whatever or whatever it is you call it,
Situationship.
I don't even know what they're called anymore. Yes, I think usually that's where everyone is a bit open. They want to let you in. They want you to meet their people.
Yeah.
You know. So even having some phone conversations will be happening in front of you because now they feel like you're, we're in this together.
Yeah, like, secrecy. Yeah, that too much secrecy. Mimi naonanga nika huyu ni mtu anadhani mada siku moja.
But are we saying that relationships feel harder today?
They actually are. It was easier kitambo because
What's making it different?
We are going into relationships with holding cards to closer to our chest like this. So sitaki kumuonyesha mimi ni nani because sijui atafanya nini. Because
isn't that limiting us finding our...
Of course it's limiting, and that's why people break up all the time because nimekata kukuonyesha mimi ni nani from the word go. So mimi I'm entering this relationship with an expectation that unakuanga tu msempoa. Kumbe umefunika hii ubaya yako lakini ione.
So when you say expectations, I think that's what most of the times should define the kind of relationship you have. If you're coming together with someone to have them as your partner, I think it is important that you let them know what you expect from them.
From the jump.
Yes, from the word go, and they should also be able to let you know what they expect from you. And I think if this was tabled at the very beginning, we could actually be speaking of better successful relationships now than we are experiencing. But
now that you're talking about expectations, let me detour kidogo. I've heard this from somebody before. Sijui how to relate. Now that you're here, utatuelezea. Do women have silent timelines they put for men in their head? Like, huyu nampatia miaka 2 kama hajafanya kitu fulani mimi najisongesha.
So it's a yes and no. It depends again. What are you looking for? What do you want, And those who are honest enough to have these conversations earlier on in the relationship, let's say they start seeing you and they say, in 6 months' time, I should see some, like you've made a stride to solidify this relationship, for example, or this getting to know each other has grown. Someone would say a year. So this is different for different people. So if in her head because at the beginning when you're having these conversations, things are flowing. You look like you want the same things, but this didn't new happen. In the beginning, where have you been?
Mkianzanga mnaonanga kama mtawana.
You all want to do these things together. You want the same things. You have the same perspective. But as you said, we present a shielded person in the beginning.
Yes.
So once you start to get to know each other and people start to get comfortable around each other, you start losing off some of those layers.
The mask falls off.
Yes. And I'm a morning person. And I'm a morning person is sleeping in till 10 a.m.
But
I know. I'm just saying. So somewhere along the way, you realize you're not the same people that started out. But there are certain things that were like it for you, for example, from one side or from the other. Like now for women, maybe that her intentions were beyond 6 months, if this is not going anywhere, it's a wrap. Someone once they've set that for themselves, they have seen what you're capable of doing and what you're able to do. So they're just giving you the time to, like, I'm not pressuring you, but letting you decide.
But don't you think a little bit of courtesy itakuwa poa ikifika time yenye mse umeona he's not that for you anymore, unamwambia ni aje? We've had this going on for a while now, and I feel like we're not aligned anymore, and
let's go our separate ways.
This relationship, ill trajectory inaenda, it does not work for me anymore. Can we like go our separate ways? Instead of that, unaanza kuandisha chaos too from the blues.
So I think as a people, we really lack conflict resolution skills.
And this is a fault of what exactly? The society, the community
I think
we live in?
it's a fault of society. We tend to have like, I want peace to prevail, and sometimes having peace to prevail as a modus operandi is harmful, because sometimes I want to mention something, but because I want peace to prevail, I'll bottle it up. To a point, I start acting weird. As you said, yes, you start acting weird. Leo amekasirika, kesho anakuongelesha, not knowing what's happening, but it's because a lot of it I've been keeping the peace.
That's
Siku
weird.
moja, you just put your sock on the wrong on the wrong bed. Yes, you explode, because you've been putting in or bottling up a lot. And this is what we're saying. I think it's important to have regular check-ins with your partner.
Yeah.
From time to time. And for people who are able to do that, as I said, we need to normalize having healthy relationships. We can talk about things, we can, have different opinions about things and still come to agree and still be partners.
I feel like we really should just stop pretending. Basic. Tuache tu unajua tu utaki umse umoni kwa maisha yako.
But then, so as I was saying
unakaa naye ukifanya nini? So mwambie tu from the jump yo.
We do not have conflict resolution skills. So as a result, the worst case scenario inakuanga nimkasirishe hadi we fight until they no longer want anything to do with me, or treat them silently until they find another coping mechanism and start probably,
But you see, for you mwenye umemkasirisha huyu mtu hadi amefanya venye unataka afanye kwa roho yako, what is
that
it
never
for
works, because hatafanya venye unataka. Anajuaje kitu unataka kwa roho?
Ataendelea ku apply pressure juu yeye anakutaka, unaona? So anafikiria hii ni phase 2 yako ya pengine maybe it's that time of the month or something, anajua tu hii ni phase itaisha. So yeye anaendelea ku apply pressure kama ni love language yake ni
but we should
anaendelea kukugift tu wewe, kumbe hata you are out of this gifts kabisa, unapata gifts unatupa kwa trash.
Yeah, but I think we should first accept there's no perfection.
There's no perfection.
And
that's why I said let's stop pretending.
There's no yes.
If this person is you, Mimi, I'm putting myself out like me. Mimi ni mimi, MKTS, even though ufanya. This is how I roll. So you either roll with me like this or fall out.
How many people are brave enough to do that?
Me.
Okay, one of the very many few people, but and even the saying or it's thrown around that wanawake like women like lies, which I don't think is the truth.
It is the truth.
It is not.
It is.
It is not, because you assume.
Should I give?
Listen, you assume that women like lies. So then when you're going, you present yourself as a lie. But because the lie looks like a perfection, I will buy it.
Kuna hiki tu,
only for you not to be able to sustain it along the way.
Kuna hiki tu, sijui ni mimi mama ni nini social media, madem wanapenda kuipedal around. Ati I need to know if a man should be straight with me. If you just want to have a good time, just say it. If you want to have a relationship, just say it. But if a man approaches you like direct, I just want a good time, so utakata.
Yes, because that's not what you're looking for.
But now, if I come pretend for the first 2-3 days.
But you see, that's the problem. You're not being honest. So even what you'll get out of that will not be an honest connection.
Exactly. So if you want me to be honest, jiweke pia in a position yenye utakubali hii honesty yangu.
But that's what I think is even currently happening. You're wondering why so many people are single. I think it's because many people are choosing to stay single. If you're not offering what I want, I'd rather be single.
Exactly.
And which I totally agree with.
So basically we're saying
through
2026 watu wamekubali, watu wameamua they live in their truth.
Yes. I am going to be alone if it means you do not want me with you. You just want to have a good time. I'd rather be alone and have a good time on my own, alone. So more people are choosing that. Yes, or on my terms. Most people are choosing that than, saying I will, it's okay, I'll pretend. Yeah, I just also want to have a good time. But if it's going nowhere,
I feel like
count me out.
I feel pia alika hizi ngoma tunasikizanga pia zinatu.
Of course. Music, yes, plays a huge role in how we also conceptualize love.
Yeah.
And what do you mean inatudanganya?
Sikiza ngoma kadha Njeraye. Njeraye makes music for people who I don't want to say side chicks, but
Why do you say that?
Zara makes music for people who have given love endless chances. Ati namba yangu nilisha kupea unipigi. Akupigi jo akutaki.
So for her as an artist, I think she's trying to really to portray what is actually happening in the society.
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't know. I think it's a toxic trait, and most people don't even notice that they're doing it. The more, like, if someone restricts their time with you, you start to chase them even more.
It's the thrill of the chase.
So who came up with that whole concept that should be normalized?
Society.
Like,
kitu yenye hutaki.
And I think that's where we went wrong. So yeah, as you say,
yenye haikutaki ndo naitaka zaidi. It's just like even this example is totally unrelated, but you will get it. Unaona mtu mwenye amegrow in a family that has both the mother and the father, a stable household.
What we call your ideal family.
Your ideal family. They grow up and they don't feel like this is it.
What do you mean?
They don't want to, like, because sisi huku nje tunaiona like an ideal setup. Mse grow up na trauma, mwana mamake akipigwa, like, I don't want that to repeat. So as they grow up, as they come into the society, they're like, si lazima nioleke.
I hear
then
you.
For other people, you've grown up in a single parent household, you've seen your single parent struggle, so you're like, maybe I want different. My family has to work. It has to be a family. So it's like you're growing up trying to heal your unhealed child, the inner child. You're trying to heal your inner child. By now unajieka sasa kwa vitu zenye hata wewe mwenyewe unajua society ya saa hii kidogo itakuwa tricky. So unapata kuna expectations, unasikiza hizo ngoma yanakwambia you feel kumbe ina happening hivi. So you chase that person. Clearly kwa mind yako unajua huyu mse akudai. Lakini unataka kuforce juu akili yako inakwambia.
So now that's how you look at her music. And me, I'm looking at her music from a point of view that she's telling you these things are happening. And this is the kind of heartache you expect when you're out there. So it's not really encouraging people to do that. But again, music is how you interpret it. You know, we could all listen to the same lyrics, but you definitely interpret it different from how I would.
Man. Every time Sarah says Ilomba, my heart melts, man.
As I say, how you deliver it. How you deliver it.
Local entertainment.
What's been going on?
By
the way, you know, we've been speaking about relationships, music. I've seen, I follow both Wahoo and Nameless on social media. And I think those people have been through it to a point there. I think they are true.
Read my work. There's a story about Nameless and Wahoo in there somewhere. Man, those people really need to consider starting a course on successful relationships, because goddamn, I have seen those people since I was a child. I'm in my 30s, man. Those people.
But they've been married like what? 20? They've been married for I think about 20 years.
But like
longer, because they dated before they got married.
I would say by they should seriously start.
So I also think they didn't have a smooth ride all the way.
Of course, relationship
yes, they've had their fair share of challenges. But I think most importantly, and what usually defines most relationships, is how you handle. And I think that's where we probably as a society should reconsider how we handle conflict, because nobody tells or nobody prepares you for the kind of challenges you're going to be facing in the relationship. And sometimes people, you meet the first challenge and you're out the door. You know?
So let's get what relationships. They're stages. The first one is the honeymoon, then the what?
Yes, and then
you get to the conflict. The third part, most people don't survive.
Yes,
the third part.
You handle the conflicts and resolve them, because unresolved conflict also just builds up into a nightmare. So how you handle them and resolve them and move on after that.
After that now.
Yes. Like for example, you have handled something and forgiven and fully let go. You cannot come back at another point in time in the relationship and bring it up again.
You don't know.
So that's what I'm saying. Once you have those healthy conflict resolution channels and strategies.
You don't know women. You'll be just chilling on some random Saturday. Mtu anakukumbusha kitu ulifanya 1976.
No, again, as I said, if conflicts are resolved, they shouldn't be brought up again. But if you don't resolve these conflicts and they are bottled in, they will always come up.
Exactly.
Until the day you actually handle. Own the mistake you did.
Alafu, now that you're talking about your that specific part, what's your take on these people who they know they've wronged you, they can't be accountable for whatever they have done wrong. They know they have wronged you. Si ati hawajui, wanajua lakini tu some ego in them inakwambia. Inawaambia sasa ni apologize ndo nini. And then their
ego won't let
they go on that silent treatment 1 to 3 days, and then they come back like nothing happened.
What you allow, that is basically what you allow. They come back basically like nothing happened, and you just accept them with open arms, and you also continue living like nothing happened. They will use that every other opportunity they get. Yes, because it works. It works because the moment they come back and you're like, oh, I missed you, you've not been talking to me, and you're like back like you never left.
TikTok alikuwa anasema ati women have a shit test. They bullshit test you all the time. Anataka kuona level yako ya tolerance to my bullshit iko wapi.
I think it happens for both ways, both the men and the women. Even
women do it better.
Even men do push limits for, they're like, nikimwambia hivi atahandlaje.
Women do it better.
And if a woman tells you I will not take that nonsense, inaisha na hapo.
That's why I mean nimekuambia right now from the jump inaambianga wase hivi ndio iko. So you either with me or not.
Mtu wangu ni mkali. So I think just communicate. Bottom line, let's say it as it is. Let's not hide, let's not pretend, let's not be people we are not just because we want to make a connection. Let's connect authentically. I think we'd be better off as a community, even as a society. I think we're slowly seeing a little bit of revolution. You see, people are now classifying themselves as my tribe, my community, my people.
A few good men.
Yes,
shout out.
We are nurturing certain kind of relation within our spaces.
We are creating our circles now.
Yes. And for example, I'd love to be in a space where excuse me, please, thank you are words that are normalized.
Me too.
As part of conversation.
Sorry.
Yes. And then you would go to lakini wacha.
Sema yuko
No, wacha, we'll discuss this at another time.
Now that you mentioned Nani Wahu and Nameless, do you feel like there's a certain pressure that comes if you're a celebrity couple? Ama pengine tunasifu jamaa lakini wamesema hawezi achana juu wanafanya biz pamoja.
You could look at it either ways. You remember when I said once you see them as your teammate and we are playing for the same team,
like till death do us part.
Yes, and I think for me, that is usually a decision that you two have to make
together.
Yes, I know of people who, like, upon meeting they tell you divorce, separation, or going our separate ways is not an option, and they tell you this from the beginning. So if you're someone who also believes in those values as your partner, you should be able to, like, I think once, so you know that is speaking as a team. So once you're speaking as a team, I believe you're able to go through it all and still come out strong.
But you know the people who tell you divorce is not an option, but they end up being the instigators of the same
So
divorce.
Then they're not being real, because you should say it and mean it. Not just say it because I want to please the other party.
Hatuwezi, Mani uongo,
so you know, because at the bottom line, if one partner is willing to give it a try, like give it a second chance, we've seen people come from worse, literally, like being cheated on, being, you know,
and they still stay
mishandled, but somewhere along the way they found a way to resolve the conflict, worked through it, and you know, not that I'm throwing shade on any gender, but this majorly happens with men. Like it happens, alipatikana, a Monica Lewinsky kind of situation, you know, and then you say, I'm a changed man, and you probably even show it in your ways. Like, you know, bana, if I mess up, again, I'm losing my people, you know. So then you consciously decide to work towards a better relationship. Those, I think, sometimes end up being the most beautiful relationships you'll see, because it's like you are awakened out of your slumber. You're just living and messing up, and you needed
something to trigger.
Yes. So when you now get that, you get triggered to a point of conscious living, intentional living. Oh, it's usually just beautiful.
But also you need a patient partner to go through that with you.
Exactly. They need to be, as I said, it's a tag team.
Man, I don't know. From my view of life, man, stop fighting for things that are not working. Kaifanyi by the Where's force?
I'm a high work. Don't force these things. You see, it takes a lot to actually
accept. Then the more you force, the more you look in hindsight, unaona umse mwenye na force kwa mtu wangu. Kuna venye tu atu align.
But you see, I think for that whole situation, there's a process you go through. In the beginning, you start blaming yourself, like, I'm the problem. So you start doing a little more than you were doing initially. So you're calling more of, you're probably even the one doing all the calling, all the texting, you know.
Texting.
And you excuse. So you start excusing and building a story in your head that this guy is too busy, or this chick is too busy, she'll get back to me, you know.
At a change.
And now you start trying to make it easier for them to be able to even do things with you or communicate with you, for whatever reason. To a point, you get to exhaustion. So I think when you get to exhaustion, that's when you start to count your losses.
Realize like,
I put in more time, I put in more calls, I put in more communication.
I put in all the energy.
Yes. And sometimes it's taken longer. Probably a year, 2 years, some even 5 years
or more
of doing that. Some a lifetime.
Yep.
So relationships hazina formula.
Umeishi na mtu 70 years, you have grandchildren, then you're at 83, you say, I want a divorce. Divorce to do what?
It happens because I think some people are also...
women now get to know what they want.
No, not even that. It happens because sometimes you've sat in that space too long. To a point you do not want to be in that space.
But 83, man, you've already been there.
I know, you keep choosing different, or that's when you even get the... You know, it's fortunate or unfortunate that some people realize the discomfort or the unavailability. I would even call it unavailability of the other partner. They are there, but they are not present.
Yeah.
So some people recognize this very early, and they make plans and exit at the earliest opening gate. Some, again, as we say, they play that whole episode in their minds.
They give you grace and you ought to change.
Let me give them a year. You probably sit down, have a major conversation. First few days, something changes.
Shift a few things here and there.
And sometimes this cycle repeats itself for the 30, 40 years you're in it. And they say for a woman, by the time she decides to actually carry her bags and leave,
committee ilika chini ikakubali.
She had left a long time ago. So you
also,
know, you actually not necessarily.
Committee by the way iko ranking kwa your story. Committee kishaka chini bro, hakuna kitu utafanya.
Support system. You know, let me tell you something, MKTS. You know, when you're in love, there are things you will be blinded to. You will not be able to see. I'm not demonizing or praising the committee, but sometimes having people, you know, even traditionally, the reason why you'd have a partner you are interested in, traditionally they'd ask you to bring that partner for a visit, for example, before you formalize this thing. That was the kamati of those days, you know. But for women, they've been able to keep, like, sort of some people around them to keep them accountable.
Sorry to cut you short, So for women, you see, the analogy is good, but you see, kamati ya sahi, it's who? It's that heart friend. It's that nini.
But that also depends. I always believe you are what you attract. If you're not being an honest friend, don't expect honesty from your friend.
Sindo Kenya nakwambia, it's that hard friend mwenye unaendanga unamwambia leo hajashika simu yangu saa 2 usiku. Akwambia achana na yeye, obviously ana cheat.
But you see, why would you be sharing your innermost intimate details with a heart friend? If you know they're a heart friend.
No, you don't know their heart.
That's what I'm saying. Then what you give if you're a pretentious friend, you get pretentious.
This is what happens. Unaona huyu mtu maybe ana live poor in their singleness. She or he is doing good being single.
They're thriving.
So wewe unaona I wish ningekuwa kama mse nisikuwe na pressure za relationship. But huyu mtu mwenye wewe unaona ana thrive kwa relationship, in their heart they have feelings like huyu wengine hapo kwa ndoa amekaa kwa ndoa hii time yote. Na mimi niko tu hapa siwezi atapata mtu mmoja. So consciously or subconsciously ukikuja kumlilia vitu zako, yeye anaanza kuweka ka narrative kwa akili yako, simple, little by little. Kwambia
those are not genuinely good people.
Amekasirisha, kuja lale kwangu. Enda lala kwako, anakupatia pombe, mnaanza kuongelea vitu zingine zenye hakuna. The next time you do that, anakuambia twende out, anakupimp kwa best yake. Unaona? Sasa anaanza kukutoa kwa relationship.
If you're not honest in your friendships, you also attract people who are also just, out to break.
Yeah, bottom line, you got to honest na sisi wenyewe. You need to
be honest with yourselves. Yes, be honest with ourselves. You're like, this is who I am. This is what I can put up with. This is what I cannot put up with. And sometimes I think intimate details between you and your partner should be treated as that. Intimate.
Tumeongelea maneno ya relationship sana. Itabidi tumefungua segment ya relationship advice or something. Mutulipe bwana. Tutaweka baby hapo kwa comment.
Relationship advice. But as we wrap it up, I think we should be kinder to each other.
Yeah, we're all doing this life thing.
Extend grace to each and every one of us, because we are all going through something, one way or the other.
Yeah.
And no one is perfect out there. So in the spirit of no one is perfect, acceptable, kuna pia acceptable standards for certain things. And that's different for everybody.
For everybody, yeah.
Choose what you
will tolerate,
value, what you want to prioritize, and work with that. Yes.
Sijui. Pendeni watu wanawapenda. That's it.
Love who loves you.
Penda mtu anakupenda.
Full stop.
You will not work so hard if that person actually loves you back. You get?
True.
Yeah.
It and I think I was watching one of these reality shows where they've been matching, I think Love is Blind, where they've been matching people, and as the audience we have so much to say about people in the show and give relationship advice. We think we know best when you're standing on the sidelines.
Yeah.
But whoever is in there,
everyone is facing
knows best. So as you said,
kila mtu anakapitia venye.
Yes. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's extend grace. Let's be kind to each other, and just live in a peaceful, coexistive
na tuko watu wakubwa pia, like unajua huwezi ingia na feelings za utoto kwa kitu ya utu kubwa. Cheki. That being said, what is this I've been hearing about our guy, this guy who was almost a president, this guy who we thought could do nothing wrong, we thought he was incorruptible. Kumbe there's problems in the house.
The activist, what's his name?
Kibaso. Vampire Diaries.
What happened?
Vampire Diaries, kumbe he's a vampire. Kuna stories kwa mtandao ati akona Slay Queen. Painting.
The way he's busy educating us and busy bringing us to speed of all these deals. Where is he getting the time?
Time lazima nayo utapata. Time, this guy
I have no comment. I think we'll treat it as a rumor.
That down today, obviously.
We'll treat it as a rumor.
Utafika mahali utachoka utake kusikia poa.
It's interesting, we as we go into election period, and people who want to stand up and be counted as leaders, I'm thinking the lens is gonna be thicker, or should I say, we are going to be magnifying your life
But also
with a hand lens and looking in every corner.
Ndio time ya propaganda itaflow kabisa.
Unfortunately, with even AI in the works,
imagine.
We'll even have complete with videos.
Imagine.
We're in trouble.
Photoshop you some, but like
the next election.
AI is not as bad as we think. Moja sahi hata kama ni wewe unaweza sema hiyo ni AI.
I think there are people who are able to
unakata unaruka unasema hiyo ni AI.
Even if it's true.
Ni AI. Sio mimi, wewe unajua.
I wouldn't do that. That's not me.
That's not me. Speaking of,
it's a tough world.
Unasikiza nini hii wiki umekuwa ukisikiza nini?
I've been listening to a lot of old school R&B, I should say.
You and me both.
They sort of speak to me. You know, I really do appreciate music, because music can actually dictate your mood. I don't know whether it's the other way around. Your mood dictates the music, or the music
dictates your mood.
The music dictates your mood. So yeah, so like you sometimes are on YouTube or like Spotify, you pick on one song, then it just starts to, the algorithm just starts to fit in your playlist.
Okay, sorry to cut you short, but wapo venye umesema ati you're on YouTube and you pick a song. Now, mine is opposite. Sometimes I wake up listening to a song in my head.
Like you're imagining the song is singing.
I'm not imagining, I'm actually hearing it. I wake up humming to the song. So, nitaamka nieke hiyo YouTube nisikiza hiyo song.
So, but then that happens to songs you've heard before.
Yeah.
Not just like I know there's usually, like when you hear a song, it rings. You know your brain picks up like all your day's memory. And then when you go to sleep, the things that you focused on and that were important to you are those that I think keep running.
Moja hizo ngoma not necessarily ati nimejisikiza jana or anything. Out of the blues. I mean, it's the first song that comes to your head.
But it's a memory. It's from a memory core somewhere. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's from a memory core somewhere in your brain.
Still, so that's the best way to listen to music.
Yeah.
So
when you're unasema ati songs were not being honest, I think when you're listening to old school R&B, they were quite...
Old school R&B, I think...
They were quite emotional when they sang songs.
Hiyo ndio ilikuwa time ngoma ilikuwa ngoma. Honestly, me, I don't know. You can't convince me otherwise.
Do we feel that way collectively, or is just because that is music we grew up with, so we have better, or we have
interesting
more appreciation towards it?
That is music we grew up with.
Because I'm sure,
tend to think
like,
it's that.
The Gen Z population, probably while growing up, what we were listening to or what their parents were listening to would definitely influence what their liking. But I've seen quite a number of them flow with the old school R&B.
Because old school R&B is...
And quite a lot of songs are just being redone. With a different beat.
Remastered with the beat.
Yes, with
also like creativity. No, nakwambia 90s music was peak music.
But I think every other decade or two, we get to remix a piece from the previous decade.
Yes.
Because I think there were songs that were done in the 70s and probably in the 60s that were redone in the 80s and 90s.
If you listen to rap, like hip hop, the artists that have done kuna hizi melodies, unapata msee ana rap, but there's a Nina Simone somewhere there. There's kuna melodies wasi kama Black Eyed Peas. I need to get that video explaining all those ninis. As in, these songs were not originally theirs. They were mastered from a different beat from a different time.
True. So that's, I think, what keeps happening every other 2 decades or thereabout. So you find a song can... So I think some of these songs are transcending through the various generations.
Yeah.
Like you can trace a beat or a what do you call it, a master, from as far back as in the 60s.
In the 60s, yes.
So I remember someone mentioning someone like Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie.
He's lived like, musically, I think in like 3 generations. or like several generations down the line. So as we say, they shape our ideas, thoughts of life. They inspire people. They, they
Music is
sometimes
universal.
give you a lot of reflection on your life. Yeah.
Umesema hiyo vitu yote bila kusema song of the week yako ilikuwa.
So yeah, so For You by Kenny Latimo. That has been like on and off song every other morning this week.
Sababu nikuuliza, you don't play Kenyan music?
I do. I do play
like,
Kenyan music.
Playlist yako mostly.
So yes, so that's for the week. But I've also, we were talking about Kalamashaka the other day.
Yeah.
And you mentioned about Vigeti. So I got interested in looking into what he's doing.
The song actually dropped.
Yeah, so it's called what? Kes Badai.
Kes Mbaya.
Kes Mbaya. There's a beat or there's an oomph that he's bringing from back in the day. Or it's like a style.
Underground rap.
Yeah, and
it's like people are communicating, like it's a dialogue.
Exactly. And hip hop heads are saying they're being fed, they're feeling.
Man, this is peak hip hop. It's peak hip hop time, man.
They're pretty different artists. Calligraph Jones and Vigeti, but the way they blend together in that piece, I think it's got
Vigeti
something.
is not from this time. He's from Kitambo, so
true,
he's
in the 90s,
like
I'm guessing.
Living legend. So for him to do something with OG, man, that's big.
It is. And the beat is catchy. The message, I haven't quite filtered it, but it seems pretty interesting.
Yeah, but hip hop is actually just about storytelling.
It's always been about storytelling.
It's just storytelling.
And fighting wars.
Not wars.
Every time people are doing diss tracks here and there.
Diss tracks ni venye. Unaona kwa mtoi ukikuwa leo mkipika chapati mnaenda kwa maneighbor mwambia sisi tunapika machapati msikuje kwetu. It's the same thing. We're making it fun.
I know. But there are times we've had stories where it got so bad to a point, people get killed.
Yeah, that's where Eminem said in one of his songs, they say music can alter mood and talk to you, but can it also load up gun for you and cock it too?
Wow.
Food for thought. My song of the week, Njerai baby. Ingia ndani.
No wonder you are analyzing her lyrics.
Whatever Njerai says, man, I'm with it. Hata kama ana making ngoma za. It's not toxic. Hata kama anatengeneza ngoma za Masai chick. Like Njerai makes music for people who believe in love, actually do believe in love. Like she makes music for people who are willing to do everything for love. I'm not saying I'm those people, but I like that music, man.
So she's like a lover girl.
She's a lover girl, exactly.
Okay.
I'd choose Njerai.
When she loves.
I'd choose Njerai
as an
over
artist. Which song by Njerai?
Ingia ndani.
I don't think I've.
It's a recent one.
I don't think I've heard it. I know the Sioni.
Aki Sioni. Nikisonga mbele bila wewe. Tunaona ana pause.
You're forcing issues. Even when it's a non-issue. Oh.
By the way, pia audience inaweza tuambia song of the week vitu zenye mmesikia zenye tujasikia hapo kwa comments. By the way, you noticed. Of course you've noticed. Tuko Spotify. Tuko Spotify. This is a big announcement.
Yes.
Follow us.
We are hoping to show up at your December wrap-up.
We are hoping to feature on your raps.
Plus also, we'd like to hear your relationship dilemmas.
Hiyo tutumie wapi? Watutumie wapi?
Send it to our DMs.
Hapana, sio DM. Fanyaje? Tunaenda kufanya ile NGL, anonymous.
Okay, yes.
We're going to put anonymous on our Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Mtujibu hizo messages anonymously because obviously ziko na vitu zingine za aibu ambazo nataka kutuambia.
Send us your thoughts, your stories, topics you'd like us to discuss, or sure, what you'd want to hear our opinion about.
Next, huh?
Yeah. So hit us up.
Yeah. Socials ni Everyday Tales with MKTS. Hapo ni Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok,
Telegram atujengea bado. Na wapi kwingine? Si tuko na social status peke yake. Hapo pia tuko na personally utanipata wapi? Ni MKTS bado. Wakufollow wapi?
MKTS
On a personal level. Oh, you don't want to be followed. Fine. Msimfollow.
Betty Nyawira.
Sawa, producer anajita DJ Basil de Menace. Follow him on all socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And follow him where he puts his shows, especially akona gig wapi hii wiki gig zake mingi zinakuja ana gig.
Follow him on his socials.
Follow him on his socials.
You'll be able to get more info. And
without further ado, we are closing this interesting, most interactive pod we've got. It's been the longest actually.
It's just proof that there's a lot of stories worth talking about. Literally, there's a lot of things to talk about.
It's also proof that we have a lot of patience. So
we'll keep unpacking them right here. Until next time.
That has been Everyday Tales with MKTS
and Betty.
Adios.